Welcome back, everybody. The Blue Jays find themselves in the driver's seat, holding on to the second wildcard position, even after a disastrous show at home being swept by Texas. But went out and swept Boston, and with 12 games remaining, we're about to take on the Yankees. Do you guys think they're do you guys think the Blue Jays are a playoff team? James did the math, so the rest of us don't have to, and we're going to talk about it on this episode of Swing and a Drive.
Swinging a drive. Get up, bar. He's done it again. A two-run shot in the first.
Hey guys, thanks for joining us again. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And excited to get into this conversation today. And let's see what we have on tap for you. Okay.
All right.
So, big question: do you think, Logan, we are a playoff team?
It's tough. I mean, we've been riding the roller coaster all year. We've been waiting for everybody to get hot. Nothing's really happened. I actually was totally down on us a week ago. Thought we were done. Thought it was done. Thought the season was over. Um, Now we have a wild card spot again, the second wild card spot, and we're watching Texas and Seattle kind of implode a little bit. So yes?
I
Question mark?
think I think that's like the exact way like 99% of Blue Jays fans are answering that question.
Oh
Like,
man.
yeah, like we like this is like I feel like we're feeling very fragile as a fan base right
Oh,
now.
it's
Like,
been a tough couple of weeks to
okay,
be a
let
Jays
me
fan. Yeah, it
let
has
me
been.
put your mind at ease a little bit, Logan, and I'll
All
give
right.
you a little bit of info. Uh, and we'll see if this helps at all. Okay, so we're sitting in the second wildcard spot with a record of 83 and 67 with 12 games remaining. Our current winning percentage is 553, which is down from last week where it was 556, and it was a horrible week. So somehow we swept Boston and our winning percentage went down, but that's all cool. If we continue at a 553 with the 12 games remaining, that's 6 to 7 wins, depending on it's like 6.6 wins. So you could round it up to 7, which would put us at 90 and 72 if we kind of maintain our current win rate. If we do any better than that at all, we end up with 91, 92 wins. And I don't think we're going to go better than 75% on the final 12 games. That's a pretty good clip. If they do, then you're a steamroller going into the playoffs. We have 6 against the Yankees, 6 against the Rays, 6 at home, 6 away. It's split pretty evenly that way. But where the hope comes in is Seattle and Texas are both sitting at 82 and 68 with 12 games remaining, and they play 7 of those games against each other. So while both teams play against one team that's subpar, Seattle's playing 2 left against Oakland, and then they go Texas, Houston, Texas. Texas plays 2 more against Red Sox, and then they go Seattle, Angels, Seattle.
Oh, apparently Nikki's home. So
Bowie, security. So if you were to say like, do they split it with each other? Even if you give a bunch of games to one team or another, I don't think. I think Seattle is probably poised to end up with a win or 2 more than Texas, based on Texas' own implosion. Seattle will probably end up 7 or 8 wins in their final 12 games, which would give them up to 90 wins, uh, 89 to 90 wins. So the Blue Jays need those 90 wins. I think.
mhm.
I think it's the number that we need to get to. So we win
Oh yeah.
just over half of our games, and we should make it. We should make it.
Yeah. Okay. I'm with you. I'm with you on lots of these numbers. I agree with lots of your like predictions here. Um, I don't think I don't think Seattle will win the two against Houston, though, that you think they will win.
I gave them two because it's home
Hmm.
games. But
Home
yeah,
games.
yeah, those
Yeah,
are
yeah,
tough. Those are tough games. Yeah,
those are tough games.
yeah.
Yeah, they have. So, I mean, not that a game against the Yankees is an easy game, but like these are not all going to be the hardest games we played this year.
No, and
Against the
the
Rays, we're going to have some fights like we always do,
yep.
and we might not win all of them against the Yankees, but I think like it's going to be not as much of a fight as it usually is against the Yankees.
I clearly we have to get at least 4 of the 6 against the Yankees,
I agree. Four of
right?
six against the Yankees,
Like
and if we can split with the Rays,
if
we
we
should
can
be solid.
split with the Rays and get 4 of 6 against the Yankees, that gives us 7 wins, which is
Wins.
the eight.
And we
It gives us to the 90.
and
So
and so I mean we've sort of talked about this outside of these conversations before, but like I sort of low key want the third wild card spot. I would
yes,
much rather face the Twins than face whoever else is in a wild card spot.
I would far prefer to play the Minnesota Minis than the Houston Huskies or the
Or the Tampies.
Tampa Bay Tampies for sure.
I can't. The Tampies, man. Every time cracks
uh,
me up.
Sorry, folks. That's, I guess, an inside joke if you haven't seen the Instagram thing. If everybody in the Major League Baseball named their team name the same way the Philadelphia Phillies have named their team, have fun with that.
The New
And it's
York
great.
Yorkies.
The Yeah, that's actually pretty good.
So, all right. So mathematically, it's very possible that the Blue Jays are a playoff team.
Yes, it's
So
imminently possible
that's
for sure.
where the yes of the yes comes from. The yes part. The trepidation is: can we take games from the Rays? I mean, they've clinched already. Are they going to be throwing out the B team and resting everybody?
They're in a race for the pennant.
Does does that give us yeah, right?
Uh,
So
Like,
so I don't think so.
I don't think they're letting up. Kevin Cash. I don't think Kevin Cash does that either, does he?
Well, I don't think the Rays do it in
Yeah,
general
yeah,
because
yeah.
they just know whatever could happen. So those are going to be tough games, as they always are.
And this thing we talked about right at the start of the year where Tampa went on the big huge run at the start of the year and we're like these guys could go through a big crappy stretch and still be fine at the end of the year. So they were amazing. They have gone through a couple crappy stretches and they're peaking again coming into
Here
the
they are,
playoffs.
right? They're peaking again too.
And yeah, and here we are 6 games against them as they peak coming into the playoffs. Like they're sitting quite pretty right now.
I agree. So that's something that has me like a little on edge with those 6 games left against them for us. Um, yeah, the Yankees. I don't really know what's going to happen with the Yankees right now. They're such a strange team right now.
You never know what you're getting. Yeah.
You never know day to day what they're throwing out there, and like
Yeah.
who's like who's going to be hot, who's hitting well, who's hurt again. I just don't know. They're like how many minor leaguers are they throwing out there? More than us.
Yes. Yeah. I guess we've bitched about that a little bit, and our minor leaguers have performed quite
Oh
well for
shit!
us.
That's one thing that might get us there.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
actually have that bit of depth now. It feels like maybe just because they're hot right now, but I like it.
If they're gonna
You
come
know
up and do the job when they're called upon, I'm totally fine
exactly
with that. I find it
right.
crazy. There's been a few lineups where across the infield over to first base, other than Vladdy, it was replacement guys. And like, what is this infield that we
Getting the job
have?
done.
And they're getting the
Getting the job
job
done.
done.
Is Vladdy heating up at exactly the right time?
And has he been toying with us
He's
this
he's
whole
just been
season?
like la di da, like
Yeah, I hope so. I hope it's just like he's
dingers
just so bored by the
in
regular
the highlights.
season.
His timing looks good again.
Yeah, Yeah,
I don't
it
know.
was like
And it doesn't take much to get his confidence back. Like,
not letting pitchers get a good look at him all year for his timing and
well,
figuring
yeah,
out
and
all of his.
not chasing. Like he's all of a sudden just stopped chasing in September.
They showed a graphic just before the in Blue Jays Central just before the game today that
Yeah.
him and Varsho are down in the low 40s on chase rate versus a month ago where they were in the high 50s. It's
Right?
like you're not going to strike out as much. You're going to force the pitcher in closer to the plate, and you're going to have better
Exactly.
contact. Yeah, yeah. I hope that's what he's doing.
So,
Okay,
as long as he's heating up, that's a check mark in the yes, we're a
so
playoff team.
that's a putting together some hitting on
Putting together some hitting.
What are the Blue Jays doing that are going to help them make the playoffs? What are they currently doing that is going to help them make the playoffs? Um, I would say that putting some of this hitting together
Yeah.
is that right now is a huge thing that they are starting to do that we haven't done all year long. Like
Yeah.
a timely hit from Varsho, a timely hit from Chapman, a timely home run from Guerrero. All of those things
Well,
are
and like
huge.
they cleaned up the defense a little bit too, right? Like I feel like we've tightened up the defense in the last couple of weeks. Plays are getting made. Kevin Biggio's out there diving and stopping and making plays. Like
He's earned
everybody's out there making the
yeah
plays.
yeah
And that's what we need, right? Like everybody's got to be solid. You got to have tight defense. I have zero reservations about our outfield defense.
yeah,
Zero.
me too. Especially compared to last
Oh
playoffs,
man.
like you got Gurriel on one side and Teo on the other, and
Yeah.
it's just not a lockdown. Like
No.
as much as like we talk about it, we always qualify it when we talk about Teo because we love him so much, um, but he's not a lockdown defender.
No, man. He's a pretty darn good hitter that strikes out a lot, and he's a average defender in right field. He's got a good arm.
He's got a good arm. Yeah, got a good arm for sure. But that team defense is something that we're doing for sure. That we're doing better than most teams in the league.
Just
And
one more
part,
reason that people need to be giving Varsho way more respect than he's getting.
yeah,
Just throwing that out there, folks.
yeah. Well, all he's done is come and hit 4 times as many home runs as Gurriel and stopped way more runs from coming in. So yeah, his hairdo isn't quite as cool
Yeah,
or whatever, but uh,
he's way
yeah,
cooler.
he's way cooler. So part of the team defense is pitching. We got 4 pitchers in the top 25 in all of the majors in ERA post All Star break. Our team ERA is 3.74 all season. So sorry, I said that in a little bit of an awkward way. The 25 ERA, the 4 pitchers top 25 ERA is post All Star break, and the ERA 3.74 is a season long team ERA.
It's it's amazing too that our team ERA is what it is, considering some of the breakdowns that have happened this year. Like
Yeah,
Manoa's ERA never got truly out of hand because we just didn't let him pitch enough innings. Um, so I guess that didn't really blow things up too much. But like at one point, uh, at one point there, when he came back from his injury, Richards had like a 13 or 14 ERA over a 2 week span or something like that. It was incredible. So the fact that the team overall still is under four, that's
yeah.
impressive.
That's a testament to some of the things, and I think like Hyunjin Ryu coming in and having he's like got a
He's been
sub
throwing
four.
pretty
He's
good.
sub 4 for sure since he came
Yeah,
back. And so they just don't have him on there because he just doesn't have as much time in the as much game action yet. But I think that it goes to like the fact that Hanjin Ryu has been so good. I think it kind of confirms what we were like. I really wanted to see Ryu before the All Star break,
yeah.
or the trade deadline, so that we could make the move with Manoa. Um, and Manoah, I think the whole reason they brought Manoah back was just as like a hedge, just to hedge the bet and let
a
Ryu have an
hundred
extra day of
percent.
rest. Like they knew what they were going to be doing with Manoah, I think, the whole time.
Well, and I think it's part of the reason he's a little, well, part of the reason why he is upset with everything, and that's
Yeah.
why he didn't report. I still don't like what he did, but like, could be a bit of the reasoning behind it that he got a little bit jerked around there. But
Yeah.
anyway, that's not what we're talking about today. Um, so, so I got so far like three check marks in the we are a playoff team category. The things that are making us a playoff team:
Okay.
our
So,
defense, our hitting together, and our pitching.
yeah.
And that is some pretty big things, obviously, because that's the three things that we do in baseball.
Well, and putting the hitting together versus not hitting, like say when we weren't hitting with runners in scoring position, and we've been bitching about that all year.
It
We've been
was
mentioning it a
bad.
lot.
It
It
was
was we were like hitting like 160 with runners in scoring position for like a good part of the year. We've now improved to 12th in the league with hitting 259 with runners in scoring position, which is pretty decent. The thing that's crazy is we've got the eighth most at bats in the league with runners in scoring
runners in scoring
position.
position. Yeah,
So
I know we don't have it here. I don't know if we can find it that fast, but I think we had a very high runners left on base number this year. We
clearly,
stranded a lot of guys.
clearly
A
we did.
lot.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's one of the, I would say that that would have categorized or that would have made us fall into not making a playoff team. So like we've still got some bad habits that we need to clean up, things that are going to keep us out of the playoffs. So
Yes.
not hitting with runners in scoring position is one of them. Leaving runners
It's
on
still
and
one of
leaving
them,
runners
for
stranded
sure.
is a huge thing that we got to make sure that we, as a team, at least bring a run in or two when you get a chance to do it.
Yeah.
Figure
So
out a way.
the other night we executed a squeeze bunt after a double or after a hit and run,
Yeah,
and I was just like, "This is it.
this
If
is
we can
baseball.
do this
Yeah,
and continue to do this baseball and be able to create runs instead of relying on the big hit all the time, which is totally the Jays' way, and really that's how we beat Boston,
yeah,
except the little hit, I guess, from Witt, but did the job. And if we can continue to create these runs with, I'm going to call it old school baseball because that's what it is.
that's what it
You
was.
using a little bit of small ball here and there, using the speed on the base pass, which we totally have. Like there is a bunch of guys on our team that can be dangerous on the base paths,
Yeah,
and we need to be out there adding that pressure the same as the Rays do, the same as the Orioles do. Like these guys that are fast add so much pressure to the pitchers, and I don't think we utilize that nearly enough.
yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I feel as soon as you get a guy on base, if he's a threat to run like a Wit, you throw those guys in motion, get them going.
Like you get thrown out once in a while, I'm totally cool with that. I would really still rather see us going for it.
Yeah, yeah. You create pressure. Crazy things happen. It's a rule of sport, just across the board. Create pressure, and even pros mess up. You can get in somebody's head, and who knows if they leave a pitch just in the wrong spot on the plate, the next pitch because you're kind of dancing in their peripheral vision. Perfect. There's
Oh
all
yeah,
kinds of and making players move to cheat
and Witt's
over
good at
to
that. So like he is down a little bit. He's not been getting on quite as much as he was
yeah,
um, the last few weeks there, but he's I love when he gets on base because he does add pressure, like
so
so much
much.
pressure.
Yeah,
Varsho too, though, right? Like he's out there dancing around, moving around, just like yeah, getting in the pitcher's head as much as possible. Those
yeah,
guys are good at it too.
yeah, yeah.
Kiermaier's another good one for that.
Like there's like you said, like there's several guys that have the wheels to make it happen
Yeah,
for sure. Um, but they got to make it happen, and they have
we
to
gotta
be
make it
aggressive.
happen.
And part of it comes from game management from from
Game
the
management.
from the
Yeah.
chief, and I've got mixed feelings on Schneider this year. There's several things that I mean,
Well,
lots of Blue Jays fans would agree. Like there's been good and there's been bad and there's been ugly, and it's game management. He's learning how to do the job at the
yeah,
big league level.
yeah.
And he's just a number. I think he's a numbers guy. He's not.
It's what
He's
has been pounded into him for the last X number of years as a Blue Jay.
Yeah.
Like this is how we do it. Numbers, numbers, numbers. And I'm with you. I'm with you on the mixed feelings on Schneider because good, the bad, and the ugly is a good way to say it. There's been times where he makes just ridiculous mistakes, like the second mound visit where he had to pull Manoah was just ridiculous.
Yeah, that was ugly.
And then there's been good calls, like when he puts on things like the that hit and run and the squeeze bunt the other day. Like,
Well, and like how many
you
times
know,
have I complained about him pinch hitting Espinal for Varsho uh,
yeah,
in like the seventh inning or something like that?
the
But
whole like lefty on lefty bullshit. Like when Varsho, I don't know. I'm with you on that too.
he has pinch hit a couple guys, and they did come through with the hit, and it looked like
Yeah,
genius. And so like
well,
so
that's it, right?
it
So
works,
times it
right?
works, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And you can't expect it to work 100% of the time. So, like that's the it's going to be a tough decision, I think, for them whether they're going to extend him for next year or not.
I think the Jays will
Because
retain
I think
Schneider.
like I think they'll
Especially if they
retain
make if
Schneider,
they make the playoffs, they'll still retain. Like you make the
and I
playoffs
think
2 years and 2 years in a row
yeah,
with the guy
right.
as your manager, you
Even
probably
with
earned.
like some people are calling for his head, like his season's not even over yet, and crazy fans out there want him
Well,
gone.
so when when you put a pitcher in a close game, when things are tight and you don't seem to have a feel for, and I know you want to show faith in the guys you got, and so you're going to trot Richards out there.
Right.
But you got a bunch of guys in your bullpen that you're I don't know saving for some other situation. But this is the game you need to win, and you
Well,
throw
that's it.
Richards in there, and he's just been not great. So I went and had a look, and Richards in innings 1 to 6, his ERA is 3.51. Seventh inning
Right.
or later, post All Star ERA is 8.71. So oh no, sorry, it's 6.19, seventh inning or later, and then post All Star game, all told, it's 8.71.
871.
But if you put him in after the sixth inning, expect maybe not the best
Right.
results.
He's not a leverage guy. This is what this says to me.
Yeah,
Don't put him in high leverage. You bring him in when you're, like got to get Ryu out of a jam in the fourth inning. Like I guess that's kind of leverage, but it's not like game on the line leverage. If he lets a run in, we've got time to get it back.
yeah, and maybe that's something that's in his head too, right? Like if he said he's able to pitch more effectively when he knows there's time to make up for a potential error, so he doesn't make the error. But if he and it could be like I say, like a mental block for him. Why is
Yeah.
it that he can't get through a seventh inning
Well,
or
it
later?
could be interesting if you break it down and see where in the order that he's facing people in the seventh innings and in the first to sixth inning, right? Like if it's
If you've seen
if
a
it's
lot more
like
top of order,
if you've seen a lot more top of the order in the later innings, then,
yeah,
then that all just kind of makes sense. Um, but I mean, you know me, I've never been the biggest Trevor Richards fan, and I just feel like this is what you get from him. And he's not a guy that you bring in to hold the game in a tight game. He's a guy you bring in to clean up when you're getting beat on or take the ball when we're up by a ton. It's a tough call. It's a tough call for me. He was hot. He's not anymore. The problem with me for Schneider is he given him too many opportunities since he was hot.
right,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like this could have been mitigated a little bit, by being like, oh, you had 3 chances, you got lit up in all 3 chances.
Yeah,
You're not going back into a leverage situation.
yeah,
We're
that
going
makes
to
a
bring
lot of
in Jimmy,
sense.
which is what they're finally doing, right?
Yep,
Jimmy's the first one out of the bullpen right now.
yeah.
So
Well,
like,
and like you say, right, for seventh, eighth, and ninth innings, you've got Jimmy, you've got
you got Chad Green, you got
Chad
Genesis
Green,
Cabrera,
you've got
you
Swanson,
got
you've got Henderson
Swanson,
Carrera,
you got
you've got
Romero,
Burner, you've got the
like,
fire throwing buddy, and you've got Romano. Like you've got
right? You got the two Jordans, yeah, like
Hicks, yeah, like Hicks
it's
and Romano, like just like you got a lot of late leverage innings. You don't need to save guys
well,
to
yeah,
and put Richards in because you want to
right,
maybe have a guy available for a next game or something like.
exactly. And not everybody can be available every day, but you got like 6 guys, like we just said. So like, I just don't know. I think I'm
And
you're getting that
you're
like
getting length from your starters
we
almost
get so
every
much length
day.
from our starters. Yeah. So I think like where we're kind of heading with this is that in the game management, the bullpen management overall throughout the season has not been great,
Yeah, I would agree. We could have
even though
gotten
our
better
bullpen was
management.
good
Yeah,
overall.
yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah, could have had a little bit better use of guys, even even times that like we bring in Jordan when it's tied, like Romano when it's tied, and probably should be kind of waiting until it's not tied. And you could have brought in Hicks or you could have brought in Cabrera,
yeah,
but Romano hasn't pitched for 2 days, so you got to bring in Romano and let him pitch. Like, I don't think you got to be worrying about that sort of stuff this time of year. You just need to put the guy in that's going to give you the absolute best chance of winning.
yeah.
Whether he pitched yesterday and the day before and the day before that, I don't care.
if you make the playoffs but you limped in and you have three pitchers that are on the IL when you enter the playoffs because they all worked too much, I don't think that any of them are going to go it wasn't worth it to make the playoffs. I
Right?
don't think any
Right?
player will be like I would rather have rested and possibly not made it. Like it's not a thing
George
that
Kirby. Did you hear his comments the other
no
day?
no what did he say?
He got lit up in the 8th inning or something like that, and he's like, "I shouldn't have been out there anymore. I was past my 90 pitches. I don't ever go past 90
Oh
pitches."
yeah, I did see that. And like it's like okay, you showed your manager up. You're never going to be past 90 pitches ever again.
Backlash was crazy.
Yeah, yeah,
He got like, oh, and then he had to walk it back hard the next day. But anyway,
yeah,
yeah, that one guy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so as far as it all goes, you know, and Schneider, you know, like we'll see how it goes in the postseason. Maybe that's where Mattingly's really going to shine. Is he's going to have some good nuggets of advice for Schneider if we can make the postseason, and the game management in the
Well,
postseason could be strong.
I think
Hopefully.
after this discussion and going through some numbers, I'm more of a yes than a yeah.
I mean that's fair. That's fair. I mean I like we both of us feel a hell of a lot better than we did this time last week when I think either of us were
Oh
ready
my
to not
god.
watch another game for the rest of the year. So
I didn't watch a game.
I
I stopped watching halfway through getting swept by Texas, and I haven't watched a game since. So
yeah,
maybe
I
I
watched a
like
bit of the
games.
Boston series, but not that much.
Yeah. Wow.
I've been a non-believer for a few days.
Well, I'm gonna say that as far as the roller coaster ride goes, we're on the like chug back up with the chain, like before we get to go off the cliff here.
Yeah.
So hopefully we just keep chugging up, and then we chug right up into the playoffs, and then smash our way through
It's smooth sailing. I would love for them to put everything together and feel like the Jays are a juggernaut at just the
at just
perfect
the
time,
right time.
just the right
Just
time.
the right time.
Yeah, yeah, it'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, well, we'll see what happens here. Jays are playing right now. game number 12, or game number 1 of 12
of the
remaining
12
games.
remaining games.
I don't have a
Yankees.
score. Do you have a score in front of you? 2-1
Oh,
Jays,
2-1
top
Jays,
5.
top 5.
All right, so just like the rest of the season, it's nothing is easy.
Nothing is easy. Nothing is easy.
All right, I think we should call her there.
On that
And
note, okay. Well, hey, let us know what you guys think. Are the Jays a playoff team or not? Do you have any reasons why they are or are not that could sway us in one way
yeah,
or
what
the
do we
other?
miss?
Sound off in the comments. Let us know. Like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.
Okay, thanks, guys. See you next time.